Hey guys, it's Lindsay from the blog Repurpose and Upcycle, and today I am going to be painting this feature wall. The toilet is right here. This is in my kid's bathroom, and I am going to be painting this wall with chalk paint. And I'm going to walk you through how to chalk paint a wall. So why am I using a chalk paint? So the reason I am using a chalk paint is I want an ultra matte finish on this wall. Now I know there are some wall paints that come in the tone matte, but I feel like with chalk paint it will almost give like a plaster-like finish, and it might create a little more texture than just a flat wall paint, and that's really what I'm looking for. And honestly, I've just always wanted to try chalk paint on a wall just to see how it turned out. So today I'm going to be using Rust-Oleum Chalked in the color Charcoal to give this back wall, and I'm just doing the feature wall, to give it that matte plaster-like finish, and I'm going to show you guys how I do it. Let's talk supplies for a minute. Like I said, I'm using the Rust-Oleum Chalked paint in the color Charcoal. I'm using a round bristle brush. If I was doing a surface any larger than this, I probably would roll it, but I feel like I'm going to get the best texture, the best finish with a round bristle brush, which is normally what you use when you're chalk painting furniture or any other surface. You can see I've already taped off the wall, so I should be ready to go. I have heard that Annie Sloan chalk paint has come out with a chalk paint wall product, but as of today, it's only available in Europe. It's going to be like in a high traffic area. You're going to want to seal it. I'm still undecided as to whether or not I'm going to seal this because it's never touched. It is in a bathroom, so there is going to be some moisture. So stay tuned. We'll talk about that when I get to it. I know this is a really bizarre angle, but bear with me. I'm probably going to start around the window, and I am going to do inside the casings. And the way you chalk paint, when you generally chalk paint, you're going to chalk paint in like an X. You're not gonna paint straight lines. You're going to do like an X because chalk paint is really good at self-leveling. So you're just going to do like an X pattern and move my way down the wall. All right, guys, I am done with the first coat. Sorry for the bad lighting. It is definitely going to need a second coat, which I assumed it would. But I can't wait to see it when it's dry. It'll probably take an hour or two to dry, and then I'll come back and do the second coat. And it should only take about 2 coats. All right, guys, the first coat is dry, and we are ready for the second coat. So this should be it. Here we go. All right, the second coat is done, and this should be it, guys. I don't know if you can see in the shimmer of the light, it's really, I'm hoping it'll have that like Venetian plaster kind of look once it's dry. Like I said, it's still wet, but you can kind of see some of the texture on the wall because the wall isn't super smooth. One little tidbit that I wanted to share, I always try to pull the painter's tape while the paint is still moderately wet, and that's so it doesn't pull the paint off. When the paint dries, it won't like pull all the paint off, which is my biggest pet peeve. Okay, I told y'all I wasn't going to use a top coat. If it was on this wall or any wall that is touched on a daily basis, absolutely put a top coat, put a wax coat, and apply the wax coat or like a polyacrylic top coat. Apply it exactly like you would on a piece of furniture or another flat surface. The same way you would wax a piece of furniture, you would wax the wall. You wax it, let it dry, and then you buff it off. Same way. That being said, once again, I'm not putting a top coat on it. I'm okay if it shows a little wear and tear, and maybe get some scuff marks here and there. That's okay, because I am looking more for that aged, you know, more like a Venetian plaster kind of style. So I'm okay with it not being 100% perfect, because that's kind of the look I'm going for. As a matter of fact, I'm going to add something to this window that's going to give it a little more character, so you might see where I'm going with this space. Alright guys, I hope you've enjoyed this quick video on how I used Rust-Oleum's chalk paint to paint this wall and really bring character to it and give it that ultra matte finish to make it look more like Venetian plaster and to really give it some texture. I love how this space looks now, and I'm just so pleased with how it turned out. I hope you've learned a few things on how to chalk paint a wall. Thanks guys, see you next time.